King Kong. Kong himself.
He's not King Kong.
He's Kong, king of Skull Island.
What's the line that they mentioned in it? I think John C. Reilly's talking about Kong and he's like, that's Kong. He's king around here. Kong, he's king. He's king. Kong, he's king. King Kong. I love the lengths that these movies go to try and not explicitly say King Kong.
Yeah, they have to make it make sense.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Godzilla. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Micah and I'm here with my brother,
Jasha. Hello, guys.
Hey Jasha.
Hey.
Yeah, we've been out on the bush for a little while. G-Force has contacted us to do some footwork for them and try to do a search and rescue for some old World War II soldier who fell down in these jungles, like way back when.
Yeah.
Really, they just wanted confirmation of if they're still living or not. They gave us a reward as well if we did find any evidence that they were here. I mean, they hinted at a promotion, but
hey.
I don't know if they're that honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't find him. We found like a katana out there in the jungle, and we let G Commander know. We let G-Force know. So we'll see if we hear from him sometime soon about the promotion of ours. But yeah, we are here on Monster Island in our little studio, and this is a podcast where we watch every single Godzilla and Godzilla adjacent film, TV show, and then talk about it. Today we're talking about Kong Skull Island.
I've been excited about this one.
Yeah.
This has been the one movie post-millennium that I've actually seen.
It's been the only movie.
Other than Shin God. This has been the only Monsterverse movie that I have seen.
Yeah.
And I have fond memories of it.
Me too.
Like I said last episode, watched the movie, had a good time, left for the bathroom.
During the credits?
During the credits.
Normal thing to do.
Didn't see the post-credit scene here.
No.
Didn't know about the Godzilla connection. So I'm watching this with fresh eyes, knowing all of those connections and interweaving paths.
Yeah. And there is a few connections. I mean, Monarch shows up. There is that after-credit scene that we'll get into a bit later. There are characters in this that make appearances in future Monsterverse movies.
John Goodman.
John Goodman, among others. So it's going to be a real fun one to talk about. But first off, Micah, I mean, we've missed out on hearing if there's any Godzilla news for the last couple of weeks. Is there even anything?
Jasha, we finally have some Godzilla news.
And it's not Battleline related? It's not Voxel Wars related?
No, but it is still gaming related. So our first piece here, just a few days ago actually, it was announced that there is going to be a Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire Minecraft collab event coming soon.
Yeah, this is weird. I haven't played Minecraft in probably 10 plus years at this point.
No, when we were youngins playing on our Xbox 360,
yeah,
and DLC or collab events came out, it was just skin packs.
Or like texture packs and worlds
resource packs.
Yeah, because we didn't grow up playing the PC version. I mean, we played bits and pieces of it where you'd mod stuff and put whatever you want into the game. We mainly played, that 360 version, Xbox 360, split screen. And I feel like they'd release like pre-made maps that have texture packs and skin packs in them, like the candy map, and you'd go to like the candy castle and stuff. But I have not played in years and years. And this is something that's been on my radar because I think there was like a Dungeons and Dragons DLC, just like this Kong one. And it changes Minecraft into Dungeons and Dragons when you have classes and you rank up and you fight different boss fights and stuff.
Yeah, so this was the one piece of research that I did. About 4 months ago, they announced a Dungeons and Dragons DLC collab. They've done a few more in the past year or two. And it's consisted of huge overhauls to like the Minecraft system, essentially changing it into a proper RPG, kind of like, I don't know, World of Warcraft or even Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, which is weird, but
it seems full overhauls of the game.
Yeah, it seems like it's something a lot of games are doing at the moment because I haven't played Fortnite in forever either. I haven't played Roblox in forever, but both those games just seem to be creating games within games and sponsored like official events within themselves, and
they've skyrocketed in popularity because they're almost like their own game engines at this point.
Yeah. So is this going to be similar to that? It's going to be like
this is officially curated.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to tie it in with Godzilla and Kong. I think they might either do the Call of Duty route, which we saw a few years ago when, was it just after Godzilla vs. Kong came out?
Yeah, same year, I think.
Same year, where you're a soldier while they're fighting. Or who knows, you might even be able to be Godzilla.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
In which case, you are buying Minecraft. You are being Godzilla. I will be Kong.
Your
we'll
team
fight
Kong.
to the death.
Okay. Interesting. Was that all the news you bring to the table, that there's a Minecraft Godzilla game?
No, there's a few more pieces. Godzilla -1 officially passed the $100 million threshold for box office draws.
US dollars? Probably?
I want to say US.
Wow, okay.
Which is impressive.
It made $1 million.
It made $100 million.
Oh, flip. Okay, yeah.
Big difference there.
That is huge. Wow, awesome.
And to side Sally off of that, Godzilla -1 is now officially the first Godzilla film in history to be nominated for an Oscar. We learned that it was nominated as one of the 5 nominees for the VFX category.
Yeah, best visual effects.
Now, we're big fans of the Oscars.
I love the Oscars. I make it my mission every year to watch everything that's been nominated. I'm even so crazy as to this year, Micah. I stayed up for the Oscar nominee announcement. They have like a 20-minute YouTube stream at 3 a.m. over here. I stayed up for it just to hear what those sweet, sweet nominees would be. And I was really surprised. I was really excited when Godzilla -1 popped up. And you should have been watching that live stream, because it's like 2 announcers. Jack Quaid was one of the announcers. Zazie Beetz. They're pretty awesome. But they're speaking to a crowd of people. It's like a real formal event. So you hear the crowd's reaction when every nominee is announced. And I kid you not, when Godzilla -1 popped up for Best Visual Effects, it was the loudest the crowd was the whole night, like more so than any of the other nominees. Everyone was so happy that Godzilla was announced.
That's cool to hear. I saw the video of the VFX team for Godzilla.
Yeah,
their reaction that name pop up, and they were just so excited and happy. A lot of members of our Podzilla community have been like, I can't remember who was it who said that if Godzilla -1 doesn't win the VFX award,
it's obscure.
God doesn't exist. If it wins, he is proof that he exists.
I mean, a lot of people aren't putting a huge stake into Godzilla winning, but I actually think it might. I mean, the big other nominee I think it's probably going to go head to head with is The Creator. That was directed by Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla 2014.
Close ties to it.
So close ties to the franchise anyway, but those are the big ones that I think blew me away this year in terms of VFX. I'll be happy if either of those win.
What we usually do for the Oscars day is we sit down with our family, we watch it, get some friends over, have a nice occasion. We make these voting forms and tally up our points, our ballots, and see who wins. I'm going to vote for The Creator because I do think that will win. But in my heart of hearts, I want Godzilla to win. I'm playing both sides here.
I think Godzilla's going to take it, because starting from that nominee announcement, I just feel like the hype for Godzilla has been just huge. It's been large. There's been a lot of Godzilla -1 hype from those videos being shared about the team behind it having such a heartfelt reaction. And just like Godzilla -1 continuing to break records, I feel like Oscar voters, Academy voters might see all that love for it, might give it more of a chance, might put it forward for Best Visual Effects. Here's hoping. I think we've got a big chance at a Godzilla movie winning an Oscar, which would be really cool.
If it does win, it's going to be a momentous occasion.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's the only Godzilla movie that's ever been nominated, did you say?
Yep.
So none of the other Monsterverse movies got put forward for visual effects.
Not even visual effects, but just anything at all.
I think Peter Jackson's King Kong did. I think that won in visual effects and sound editing, sound mixing when that came out. So it's pretty close. But man, that's exciting.
Forget Godzilla versus Kong. It's Godzilla Oscar noms versus Kong Oscar noms. Yeah. Currently, Kong's winning.
Kong is winning.
We'll see if that changes.
Yeah.
Jasha, on to the episode proper. What are we covering? The episode proper. What are we covering today?
I mean, for a sidebar, do we say proper a lot as Kiwis?
I don't think we say it as much as everybody makes it out that we say.
I mean, let's go to the episode proper. Let's go to the rest of the episode.
Let's get on to the episode proper.
Proper. It's a proper way to say it.
It's a proper way to say it.
Yeah, I'll take us into Kong Skull Island, directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts. The year is 1944, and two enemy World War II pilots, American Hank Marlowe and Japanese Gunpei Ikari, clash on a South Pacific island and are met with a giant ape. Fast forward to 1973, where Monarch's Bill Randa manages to snag a military escort for him and a group of scientists to search for titans living on the mysterious, uncharted Skull Island. As soon as they arrive, they are also met with the giant ape, Kong, the king of Skull Island. The island's collection of dangerous creatures slowly picks away at their human visitors until they happen across a tribe of natives and a messy-looking American, pilot Hank Marlowe. Marlowe, who had been stranded on Skull Island since World War II, reveals Kong's role in maintaining balance against skull crawlers, fierce reptilian predators. Two factions soon emerge among the survivors, with Lieutenant Colonel Packard seeking revenge for fallen comrades by plotting Kong's demise. Conrad, the group's tracker, Weaver, the group's photographer, and Marlowe try against all odds to save Kong, recognizing his crucial role in the ecosystem of the island. But Colonel Packard, who has clearly lost his mind since the war, triggers a battle, leading to casualties among the soldiers as well as his own demise. Kong fights a colossal skull crawler, the Skull Devil, and narrowly triumphs thanks to help from the humans. In the end, the survivors leave the island, and Marlowe is able to reunite with his family, his wife, his son. But everything may not be over yet, as Monarch discovers evidence of more huge monsters around the globe. Some sort of lizard, a pterodactyl, a moth, and something even far more sinister than any of those. But everything starts right here with Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
Skull. I say skull. This scowl thing, it's not a real thing. Scowl. Who says that? I don't.
You do. You do.
Listeners, listen to this whole episode. I'm only ever going to say skull, and you'll be on my side for once. That I pronounce it right, right? Skull.
You're going to be held accountable in front of the panel.
In front of Kaiju Court.
I'm bringing you back to G-Force, the G-Force panel. Commander will hear about this.
Micah, as we said, we've both watched this movie before in 2017. I've revisited it a couple times since then.
Oh.
But what did you think of it, like just coming in fresh since 2017? Did you remember most of the movie?
I feel like I remembered a very watered down version. I knew the basic plot points that, everybody went to Skull Island, faffed about there for a bit.
Yeah, a lot of faffing.
Kong fought a big skull crawler. I didn't realize it was called a Skull Devil.
What did you just say?
A skull crawler, Jasha.
Did let me check the. Okay,
I'm not on the pedestal here. You are, my friend. I didn't know it was called a Skull Devil.
Skull Devil. I think that's the nickname for the big boss at the end.
Big boss. I knew that the dude died with the grenades.
Yeah, what's his name? Character actor Shea Wiggum, one of my favorites, playing Cole.
Yeah, he's good in this.
You remembered his death?
Apart from that, big little Kong, he's not as big as he is in the next few films.
No, he's still pretty young here.
But yeah, apart from that, some of the main actors, upon rewatching it, there's so many more familiar faces than I ever thought I would recognize.
Yeah, it's so funny going through most of this Podzilla journey just with unrecognizable people, some great actors and actresses that we've grown to love, but then going straight into these Monsterverse movies where it's like A+ Hollywood actors. Every single one of them is recognizable from a million other things. Most of them, especially in this, have already worked together, like in different Marvel projects and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think this movie is a bit overstuffed with its cast.
Yeah, it's definitely going for more of an ensemble approach, which I think works a bit better than like Godzilla 2014, when it's got few characters that are very underdeveloped.
Yeah.
This has a lot of characters. They've each got their own few character traits, almost stereotypes about them, and they just play into those. And I feel like some of them are still underdeveloped, but it's a bit more forgivable because there's just so many of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been through our King Kong journey on the Patreon episodes.
Yeah.
On Thailand.
We've covered every single King Kong movie over there.
I feel like especially the first few Kong movies, they are kind of built around that idea of having a bit more of an ensemble cast as well. So I think it fits there. But yeah, in this one, there's like, I mean, I'm going through the top 20 cast members, and I remember all of them from something I've seen. Yeah, but in it, they've all got their little cliques. Yeah, they're working as well. You've got your little group of soldiers, your quote unquote main characters with Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson. You've got your scientists. So you still get your chance for each of these groups to shine and see those different interactions and dynamics in between them.
Yeah,
you don't get a lot of interactions between those groups and their different characters, but I think it's fine for what it does.
Yeah, I think the big letdown is definitely Tom Hiddleston.
Really? No, I agree with you. Yeah.
I was going to say.
I thought his katana would have won you over.
That scene when he's got the gas mask on and the like neon green gas when he's slicing down those birds, just one of the best scenes. But yeah, he's put into this role of the washed up tough guy who can track any monster, and you don't want to get on his bad side because he knows his stuff. And I don't know if Tom Hiddleston fits well into that role for me. And again, it doesn't help that it's just so underdeveloped. We don't learn anything about this guy except he's washed up.
An uncharted island.
Let me list all the ways you're going to die. Rain, heat, mud, disease-carrying flies and mosquitoes. Sure, you could load up on the outerbrain for the malaria, but what about the other bacteria? And we haven't even started on the things that want to eat you alive.
We'll double that.
You have no idea how dangerous this is. I want 5 times that. Plus a bonus if we make it back. If?
Well, apart from that, like you said, scene with the gas mask and the katana, I really can't remember much else that he did.
Tom Hiddleston is Captain Conrad. And then our other lead is probably Brie Larson as photographer Mason Weaver.
Isn't shooting a mapping mission a step down for a photojournalist?
The right photo can help shape opinions.
And win you a Pulitzer.
Okay, Captain Conrad. What about you? How did British Special Forces get dragged into this?
Just Conrad. I'm decommissioned. They offered me money.
You don't strike me as a mercenary.
You don't strike me as a war photographer.
Anti-war photographer.
Her whole character is, she's not a war photographer, she's an anti-war photographer. She doesn't like war. She's doing this to try and show people the reality of what's going on and how terrible it all is, which is pretty cool. But they don't play into that much. They don't really try and connect her with Kong much, like a lot of these other King Kong movies have done.
Yeah, that was one of the most surprising things for me. I was fully expecting a scene where she gets taken away from the group, or even a scene where she's like infatuated by Kong, as we've seen in literally every past movie. But they probably stray away from the Kong formula most in this movie.
Yeah, this is the most original King Kong movie. Apart from the original.
Apart from the musicals as well.
Apart from the animated musicals. No, but like every other King Kong movie has kind of followed that same structure.
It's been quite formulaic.
Yeah. A group of like filmmakers go to the island. They take Kong back to try and sell him for money and make a show out of him. And in the third act is always Kong escaping, rampaging throughout the city, going up the Empire State Building, getting shot down, right? Whereas this is, the whole thing is on Skull Island, which is pretty cool. I love the take they did. It's just pretty unique. Putting it against that like Cold War backdrop as well, the 70s, the music blaring the whole way through. They took a lot of the visuals from like Apocalypse Now, those real fiery oranges and yellows in the sky. The way this movie looks, is there a single movie that looks better than this one? I don't think so. Is this
Probably
the best looking movie of all time? Should this have won
Cinematography
and visual
2017.
effects? Yeah. Come on. I'm amazed by the way this movie looks. And it's just the colors throughout the whole thing, not even the oranges on the island, but early on when I think the Monarch guys are meeting with Tom Hiddleston's character in like a Saigon nightclub.
Yeah.
There's real cool shades of reds and blues.
Reds.
When we're introduced to Brie Larson's character, Weaver, she's like in a photography dark room with a lot of reds in there as well. It's just every single shot looks interesting. Like there's a lot more to every shot than meets the eye. They didn't go for just the basic, here's the characters, boringly lit scene, that's all you need to know. They actually injected it with some flair and flavor every single shot. You're always looking at something real amazing.
I just looked it up as well. So this was nominated at the Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects.
Was it?
Yeah.
Not cinematography.
Not cinematography, but for visual effects, which is another score for Kong and not Godzilla.
Kong.
Which I think goes to show like how much, for surprisingly a King Kong movie, I feel like because they're usually quite formulaic, you wouldn't think of it as one to be nominated for visual effects, but they play around with those ideas a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, not even visual effects, but like you said, cinematography and just the ideas for some of the shots they have.
It's crazy, yeah, because
they throw a lot of cool ideas into here.
Yeah, especially maybe the best scene of the movie when all the humans are traveling to the island with helicopters. They start like setting bomb charges or whatever they're doing, seismic charges to figure out some information about the island. They're just flying around, enjoying the environment. Out of nowhere, a tree flies through the windshield of one of these helicopters and it just descends into chaos as it's Kong versus these helicopters. He's chucking them into one another. It's slow motion. We get these real interesting like stabilized shots where it's stabilized to a missile and is following that, or the helicopters. There's the Richard Nixon bobblehead.
Yep.
That is like really still, and it's nothing much is happening to it before Kong arrives, and then we cut to it a few times when Kong's attacking and it's shaking like crazy during the storm when they try to get to the island. It's shaking like crazy, and then they crash and the bobblehead's like upside down. It's real creative.
Bobblehead storytelling.
Yeah.
More movies need to have bobblehead storytelling. One of my favorite parts about this whole movie as well came into play here is the score for this movie and the different music pieces that they have. Like pretty consistently, I felt every 10 minutes or so, you would just start jamming out to another song that plays at the start of a scene.
Yeah.
And especially in that helicopter scene, I can't remember what song it was, but they're just jamming, dropping those seismic charges. That tree comes through and the music just cuts out and then slowly comes in like a more tense version.
Yeah.
And it just fits in every scene in a really unique and fun way. And they play with that idea of, you know, cutting out the music when something crazy happens. Almost like the lack of music in some scenes fits better than the music does. Did you have a favorite record drop?
I liked Bad Moon Rising. That's a classic for me. I can play that pretty well on the uke.
Oh, can you?
Play Mean Bad Moon Rising on the uke. Stay tuned. Patreon exclusive Bad Moon Rising cover dropping soon.
Grab it right now, I dare you.
I know, it's way out of tune. I haven't played it in ages. But my favorite thing about the score was probably this motif that comes up a few times. It's like this real gnarly electric guitar little solo for a couple seconds.
Mouth guitar it for me.
Yeah, I can't remember it. But you guys will hear it now. And I really loved it. It pops up during just the wildest moments. Samuel L. Jackson will just like drop a heck of a one-liner that little guitar will play. But yeah, I really love. It just looks so good all the time, and it's so creative. The cuts, there's some real creative cuts. I think Kong is just eating a dude, and then it cuts to a guy eating a sandwich. And it does that a few times, like someone's pulling out a huge knife, and then we cut to a guy using a knife to open up like a can or something. I don't even know another movie to compare this to. It's just so original in the way it looks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you said it was kind of like Apocalypse Now in its visuals and style. I know that they really wanted to riff off that when they were making it, because I don't think there has been another monster movie set in the 70s period.
Yeah, or with like war as a backdrop, soldiers as a backdrop. I mean, we kind of see it with the Marines and Aliens, maybe. But
this movie felt a lot like Aliens at points to me.
Yeah, or have you seen, what's the movie?
The answer's probably going to be no.
Overlord?
No.
Yeah, it's like a movie set in World War II with Nazis as zombies. Real creative take on it. But there's something about movies when you get to know a real ragtag group of guys, whether that be like soldiers is a real cool, like, the bond between your brothers.
Platoon.
You get your platoon. They're always joking around. They're always like, they're joking around one second, but then hugging each other and being real emotional the next. And it is such a cool idea to chuck a big old monster into that, right?
Yeah, trial by fire. And yeah, it brings out some cool situations for the characters. And there's a lot of them here. Did you have a favorite character from this huge star-studded cast?
I mean, I like John Goodman as Randa. He was cool. I also like John C. Reilly as Hank Marlowe. We'll get into him soon.
The John Sierra is classic.
The two Johns. But my standout was probably Thomas Mann as Reg Slivko.
Oh.
And he was this little jokester dude with a red bandana.
He was part of the soldier platoon. He's given a lot of the comedic lines, but he makes them sound real natural and real funny. So it's him and John C. Reilly, because John C. Reilly was just amazing in this. How about you? I liked Thomas Mann as well.
I thought you were going to say Tom Hiddleston for a second. Yeah.
He plays that real, like, more innocent soldier who hasn't been, like, hardened by war yet. He still freaks out at everything. And I also really actually like Brie Larson in this.
Did you?
I don't think she's given a lot to work with, but I do think she plays her character well for what she's been given. I do like the regular use of her pulling out her camera. And even though they're not the best shots, let's be real.
Can we talk about her? Every single photograph she takes is zoomed in. It's like an extreme close up on all these people. Like, use some negative space, Brie. You're probably going to be wanting to put those photos into a newspaper or something.
She's used to photographing dead bodies from the war, Jasha. She's not used to moving targets.
Take a photograph so they can put some text over it if they need to, you know, without blocking out the whole face of someone.
Yeah, but it is fun, like her pulling out a camera and we just seeing a shot of John C. Reilly crying over his son that he's not going to see.
Yeah.
And speaking of John C. Reilly
as Hank Marlowe. What a cool idea for a character. And just for the start of the movie, the cold open of the movie is this American pilot and Japanese pilot, sworn enemies against each other in war, going at it.
That scene where he grips the sword lives rent-free in my mind as one of my eternal nightmares now.
I know, right? Just the blood coming out of his hands. But it's a real cool idea for a story, yeah. Enemies, American, Japanese, being forced to kind of come together. They've only got one another and then this tribe that they end up meeting. And they both sound like they're just the bestest friends for years and years until the Japanese pilot is killed by one of these skull crawlers. And John C. Reilly is left kind of this man at a time on this island, stuck with this tribe that hardly speaks English. And he's gone a little bit loopy, a little bit crazy. And I just love it.
Wasn't Kong the one who killed your friend?
No. One of them did. Kong's god on the island. But the devils live below us.
And what are they called?
The Iwis won't speak their name. But I call them skull crawlers.
Why?
Because it sounds neat.
Okay.
Look, I just made that name up. I'm trying to scare you.
I'm fine calling them that. Are you cool with it?
Yeah, that seems like
I like the name, so
great
I
name.
think you...
Never said that name out loud before. It sounds stupid now that I say. Just, you call them whatever you want. The big lizard things. Nasty.
I think you like him a bit more than I do, to be honest.
Really? It didn't really work for you?
I like the idea of him. For some reason, I just don't feel like he fits in this movie. When I think of Kong, Skull Island, I'm stuck in the mindset of watching through these Godzilla movies, and just there is a wide variety of different styles and different genres in between them.
Yeah.
I'm not yet used to the Monsterverse having comedy in.
Really?
And deep down, I like it, but surface Micah is still a little put off by it.
That's real interesting because I think he is the heart and soul of this movie for me. I was bawling during the end credits when he finally gets home.
Yeah.
And you see him getting back to his wife and his son, who he's probably never spent any time with.
And to be fair, I think I did cry in the theaters at that moment as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm not denying that he is like the heart and soul of this movie. I think it is stupid to believe that there could be any other end credit scene where he doesn't go back to his family and we don't see him watching his game with his beer in one hand and his hot dog in the other.
Beer and a hot dog. But you're right. He does play this interesting balancing act between like the emotional core and the comedic guy, the comedy relief.
Yeah.
Because some of his lines, like, he has that whole conversation when he's like, I can't tell if you're talking or if I'm talking. Like your mouth is moving, but I'm hearing myself. And there's the, hey, I'm going to stab you by the end of the night. I'm just kidding. Like the way he delivers them.
He's so chaotic.
It's 100. It just sells me 100% that he has gone crazy just living out here on Skull Island by himself for so long.
I think the main reason is that coming to the island and seeing the natives has always been a really cool part of the movie for me. I feel like one of those themes is that they see Kong as this god of this island, and they've come to terms with like living simultaneously with him there, coming to almost a truce with him. And when we see the tribe here and John C. Reilly, I feel like he just brings all the tension out of what could be a really cool scene. Having these natives for once actually like be quite neutral or even quite accepting of newcomers on the island. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel so weirdly about it.
Yeah, no, I do get it. I do get you. And it would probably be more of a problem for me if it was like he is the emotional core, but he's not the focus just because it's focusing on more pieces of the ensemble. Because I feel like the other person that gets a lot of screen time is Samuel L. Jackson, who is another really good character. I think him and John C. Reilly's characters are the standouts for me. I don't tend to like Samuel L. Jackson.
What?
I think he's my most watched.
Jasha, what?
I think he's my most watched actor of all time. But I just find him very.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, just because he's in like
how many movies of his
every single Marvel movie, man. He's in every franchise. He's in Marvel. He's in Jurassic Park. He's in Star Wars. He's in everything. And I feel like he's just the same guy in every movie. He just plays himself. He's always got his one-liners. He always tries to get a swear word out. He's always like, there's that classic story of him arguing with George Lucas to try to get him a purple lightsaber so he can stand out from the others. Like, it's just Samuel L. Jackson, right? And I feel like he did that. He did kind of play himself a bit in this, but it really worked for me. I loved the character's motivations and just the character of Samuel L. Jackson's Packard, being this guy just so consumed by the war, so much so that when it's over and his whole crew is going to be going home finally, he gets this detail to go to Skull Island. And you'd think that he'd be really bummed for his crew having to go out when they're just one day off seeing their family. But he's like thanking the person who gives them this detail. He's like, oh, thank you. You don't know how much this means.
Yeah, I love seeing his decline there because, he's chomping at the bit to
get back out there with his crew, go back to war. He needs to be fighting someone.
To fight something and win something.
Yeah. So that's his whole deal. And when members of his troop die to Kong, it just consumes him, that's his enemy. And he just loses he just loses everything else except his focus on Kong, which was cool.
Chapman is dead.
Doesn't change a thing. We're still going to that crash site.
What's at that crash site that you want so badly?
Weapons! Enough to kill it!
Kong didn't kill Chapman.
But he did kill these men. My men.
You can't kill Kong, Colonel. Kong is God on this island. He's the only thing keeping them lizard things on the ground.
He's right, Colonel. We can't kill Kong. Now, that other creature, that's the threat. And there are more of them down there. If you take away a species' natural competition, they'll proliferate out of control.
Then we'll end them too. After we bring this thing down.
I can't let you do that, Colonel.
Wait, hold the fire! This is one war we are not gonna lose.
They don't really focus on one person, and I think they equally. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just think they did the ensemble really well. Yeah.
And yeah, it is weird seeing, John C. Reilly, John Goodman, and him be like stand-up people with probably the most character development or character motivations that we see. And then we have our main characters, Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, who just do like what feels like nothing in this whole movie.
They're there to draw people into the theaters, right? Tom Hiddleston's in the movie? Yeah.
Can I say something though? Brie Larson, her hair in this,
you liked it?
She looks like she's got Jane Fonda here in this movie.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
That's a reference.
That's one.
Micah hasn't seen 99% of popular movies, but he's referencing Jane Fonda.
Dude, my Letterboxd top 4 has the China Syndrome in there.
Jane Fonda movie.
My favorite Jane Fonda movie. My only Jane Fonda movie.
Calling Podzilla.
Wait, do you hear that?
Sorry, that's
Paging Podzilla. This is the G Commander.
We missed a call from G Commander. Is this about a promotion?
We didn't find anything, but
do you want to play
maybe
it?
Preemptively. Yeah. Hold up. Put on speaker.
I saw Kong Skull Island when it came out in the winter of 2017. That was a time in the life of G Commander where I desperately needed distraction. And there Kong Skull Island was. Is it a smart movie? No. Controversially, although it lacks the emotional depth of the Gareth Edwards Godzilla, G Commander prefers Kong Skull Island because it is so wildly in the opposite direction of wild, silly dudes getting flung against stuff. And then you have the heart of two of my favorite character actors ever, John Goodman and John C. Reilly in this film. And by that, I mean this documentary about an event that took place, or maybe it didn't. Listen, the point is, when I needed to leave my brain out in the road outside the theater, there Kong Skull Island was. I think that the franchise, and by franchise I mean the events in our world or not, has done a great job of mixing that in between the Godzilla versus Kong stuff in that film and the new trailers and in Monarch. But really, there is nothing better than dudes getting flung against stuff. And it was great in the Peter Jackson one, and it's amazing here. And I hope dudes get flung forever. And who knows, maybe one day they'll be brave enough to show us Anders Holm and John Goodman side by side. But until then, this is the G Commander saying that sometimes it's best to leave your brain at the door. Peace and love. Thank you, boys. You're doing a hell of a job, and I will talk to you very soon.
Well, he thanked us for the job we're doing, the work we're doing here on Monster Island, and really hear about a promotion.
And he'll see us soon.
He'll see us soon. Yeah. And then also, I've never told him this to his face, but G Commander sounds suspiciously like Kev, our friend Kev, who we've had on the show a few times.
Yeah, from the podcast.
Austin Danger podcast.
Austin Danger, yeah.
It's uncanny.
There's some, yeah. Shoot, I can't unhear that now.
But, I mean, he's right. Kong Skull Island. I gotta agree with him. There's no better movie to see guys getting flung against walls, right? Guys getting flung into trees.
Guys getting flung against mountains.
And it feels like that's what this movie does so well. It's the perfect monster movie. It looks amazing.
Wait. This is a perfect monster movie? You're saying it? This
is the perfect monster movie. It looks amazing. And then it also manages to give us these deep emotional storylines with some of the characters. So there's a bit more to it than meets the eye, I feel. But let's get to the main event, Micah. Let's talk about some of the monsters, dude.
Oh, good boy.
King Kong Kong himself.
He's not King Kong.
He's Kong, king of Skull Island. What's the line that they mentioned in it? I think John C. Reilly is talking about Kong, and he's like, "That's Kong. He's king around here.
Kong, he's king.
He's king. Kong, he's king. King Kong."
I love the lengths that these movies go to try and not explicitly say King Kong.
Yeah, they have to make it make sense. What did you think about him? Because, I mean, as we've said before, we have recently watched every other King Kong movie. This is the first time we're seeing Monsterverse's take on him. We're going to see him a lot more going forward. And what did you think of him?
Yeah. I mean, he's big.
He's big.
He's 4 times bigger than the Peter Jackson Kong.
Is he?
104 feet, 32 meters.
Whoa.
This Kong stands at. So he's a big boy.
And in terms of like design, he's not the gorilla that Peter Jackson's Kong is. He's not. He's a lot more humanoid than ape-like. Almost.
I was going to say like mixed between chimp and ape, but yeah, he definitely has much more of a human stature.
Yeah.
Than anything we've seen before. He like even the fact that he stands up straight hits me as being real unique.
The way he like washes himself, washes his wounds. Very human thing to do. And what the movies have done really well, the other Kong movies, is that they've managed to humanize Kong by his connection with the actress Anne in a lot of those movies.
Yeah.
And of course, this movie doesn't try and do that, doesn't have the actress, doesn't do much with him and Brie Larson. That's one of my negatives is it didn't really humanize him much.
No.
The way it humanized him was almost showing that he kind of acts like us. And there's this brief moment when he's looking in the water at his own reflection and he like pauses and he's there's just some thought behind it. And he's clearly like remembering his parents who we see their skeletons that they passed away defending him. So, I mean, there is some humanity behind his eyes, especially when he does see Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston later on and doesn't move to attack them.
I feel like that scene's kind of forced. It's like you have to have that one scene where the leading lady and leading man
stare at Kong, have his stare down.
I feel like definitely the main way that we see his humanness is probably when he's fighting and trying to defend the humans at the end of the movie. When he's chained up and he's fighting that Skrull. Did you say Skrull demon? Skrull king?
You're calling them Skrulls?
Oh, sorry, I see Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Skull Demon?
Skull Devil is the
Skull
big
Devil. When he's fighting against the huge Skull Devil, and like you can see that he is trying to defend these people and defeat the Skrull Devil.
The Skrull Devil?
The Skull Devil.
We could just forget about Skull.
You say Skull,
You'll
I say Skrull.
This is so much better.
When he's trying to defeat the Skull Devil.
Yeah.
Before these people come into harm. And then at the end, again, when we see Brie Larson's character be saved by him when she falls into the water.
Yeah. Cool shot of his hand coming underneath her.
Nah, that's just a rip-off of Lord of the Rings. Gollum grabbing the ring.
Brie Larson's the ring in this comparison.
Gollum and the ring are fitting comparison to Kong and Anne, if I've ever seen one. I don't know. We don't actually see too much otherwise. We do see a few scenes when he's fighting the Skull Devil where he's got Brie Larson in his hand and he's like intentionally trying to protect her.
Yeah,
like that scene when the Skull Devil wraps his tongue around his arm and full on like swallows his whole arm and he's still holding on to try to keep her safe.
Pulls the tongue out of the Skull Devil. The Skull Devil's whole insides come out with his tongue. These Monsterverse movies going 2 for 2 with just the craziest ways the final enemies getting defeated. I love it. Yeah, and I mean, we're having this discussion about Kong's humanity. Does he need to be human-like? Does he need to have emotions behind him? Does he need to be more than a monster? Because I feel like this is going the different route, and he's not really... It's not talking about how close he is to humans, how similar he is to us. It's more talking about that he is his own creature in this ecosystem. He is kind of... It's this interesting story about the ecosystem of the island. Kong needs to be there to keep the monsters at bay and to keep all the peaceful animals safe.
He's on another level compared to everything else.
Yeah, he's kind of just this. He's the king. He's looking out for his people.
He's the king. Kong.
Yeah, king. He's the king, Kong.
I do also feel like this movie rides off the previous history of the Kong movies. We don't need as much to see that Kong has a love for humans and that humanity side, because we know that now.
Yeah.
And I think especially leading up to what is teased here, a Godzilla versus Kong movie. Yeah, I think for this iteration of Kong, we don't need to see as much of that love for humankind, because we just know that he's going to fight, and he's good at fighting in the end.
He's good at uppercutting people with propellers, uppercutting monsters with propellers.
Yeah, I love that scene. And even though if that defense is for humans, I do think that's enough in this case.
Do you have a favorite monster? Because there were a lot of other monsters and creepy crawlies on Skull Island. There was King Kong himself. There were the skull crawlers, obviously, the skull devil.
What's the spider?
Mother Longlegs. Your favorite kaiju? Mother Longlegs.
Yeah, Mother.
Is she mother for you?
Mother Longlegs is mothering in this movie. I love it's kind of a horror scene when we see that man impaled by the bamboo leg. And then going through his mouth and his whole body.
It's crazy. Then the soldier's cutting down Mother's legs. And it's like cuts to them cutting down practical like bamboo and just all this liquid and blood spilling out. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Nice scene there. There are a few others, but what was your favorite?
Well, I'll just quickly name the others here. There was Spore Mantis, who was this like stick insect dude.
Oh, was that the Spore? I freaking love Spore Mantis, dude.
Yeah, there was Skier Buffalo. Skier, S-K-E-R. S-K-E-R. Skier? Skur Buffalo. There's the Maya Squid.
Yep.
Kind of similar to Giant Octopus or Odako from the old school Godzilla movies.
Do we see its like body, its face?
I don't think so. No, just his tentacles as Kong snacking on him. And then the other one I want to call out was the leaf wings. They were the kind of small little bird dinosaur things. Yeah. One of them gets shot by a soldier, and then he realizes that the whole tree, like there's no leaves on the tree that's above him. They're all the leaf wings.
Was that the one with like the saw tooth nose as well?
Real crazy nose. I think my favorite was Mother Longlegs as well. Give me a big spider any day, you know. I don't know how I feel about the skull crawlers, to be honest. They feel similar to the Mutos for me, that they're kind of just this boring generic monster. And whoa, the final boss is just a bigger one.
Yeah, I give the Mutos a pass because I think that they have a cool dynamic with like the male and female ones and the differences between them. But this is just a horde of the exact same monster.
Yeah.
And the Skull Devil, it doesn't even really have any defining features apart from it being bigger.
It's got more like bones on his shoulders almost.
No way.
Yeah.
He's got shoulder bones.
The skull crawlers have been a mystery to me because for the longest time, and I saw someone say this in our Discord, the big holes in their nostrils, I thought those were their eyes.
Yeah.
But they've got little eyes next to those nostril holes.
I think being called skull crawlers, you see those like hollowed out sections as like, oh, it's just like a skull. It's its eyes.
But it's not. It's just a beak, and they're skull crawlers because they crawl amongst the skulls.
And they've got just 2 legs. They've got like armpits for legs.
Big 2 legs, a big tail. It was a really cool scene when what a cool set piece when they're in amongst the skulls of Kong's parents, and there's all the green gas, and they're just getting picked off one by one by the skull crawlers. John Goodman gets eaten by one.
Yeah.
Main character just gets killed off.
I do like how this movie does that a lot. You feel like you can't get too attached to any of the characters at any time, because they could just go just like that.
Yeah, they're all getting ripped off. Like, how about that guy who gets picked up by the leaf wings into the sky, and then like gets his arm cut off by one of them in front of the sun.
5 seconds down. Yeah, that's a cool scene. They set up their little turret on the Triceratops skull.
Yeah.
There's a few cool things that they do there. And in those moments, it is nice because everybody does get a chance to shine. You see what in the past has been Andaro, kind of like the
Mason Weaver in this one.
Mason Weaver, who has been the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She does get a few really cool kills here where she like chucks a lighter into the noxious gas and full on sets some of these skull crawlers on fire.
Yeah, everyone's always doing something. Like even during the final battle, she's got the really important task of firing off the flare to try and get the boat to come, while Tom Hiddleston's character's like trying to stop Samuel L. Jackson. Like everyone's always doing stuff and having their moments to shine. But before we wrap things up, Micah, Do we have any trivia for Kong Skull Island?
Jasha, I do have some trivia.
Okay, I'm excited.
We are in the age where there's actually a good bit of information for each of these movies now, which is nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
A few standout pieces. This movie does feature the tallest incarnation of Kong in an American movie, like we said. I'm not too sure if he's taller in any of the Japanese movies. Because I feel like he's always pretty small in those.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. His arms are longer.
Maybe it's just because of the arms. But he does grow more in the next movie.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Kong grows throughout all the other Monsterverse movies. His hair grows. He grows a bit of a beard.
No.
Which is pretty cool.
I love how we keep saying the other Monsterverse movies when he's only in one other movie at the moment.
It's soon to be two.
Soon to be two.
He's in Monarch, Legacy of the Monsters, I think.
Did you know, Jasha, originally this movie was going to be 3 hours long.
Oh, the dream.
The dream. It's cut down to 1 hour 58, so that's a good third of the story that was cut. But elements of the movie's extended plot include, we have James Conrad, Tom Hiddleston, him and a big snake encounter.
Ooh.
It's supposed to be a giant snake.
And this was just planned, it wasn't filmed.
Not filmed. You can see it in concept art.
Yeah, cool.
There was supposed to be proper extended fight sequences and more scenes of the younger John C. Reilly and the character Miyavi, the two soldiers.
Yeah.
Although those aren't shown in the movie, there is a novelization of this movie that does include those other scenes.
Nice.
Those other little backstory pieces. So it might be something we can cover in the future.
Yeah.
One of the big things that was known about this movie is that all of the actors pretty much didn't actually know how big Kong was supposed to be.
So they're all, whenever they're looking at Kong, they're kind of just guessing where their eyes will be going.
Yep. Apparently, a lot of the different actors all had conflicting information on how big they thought he was, it is very weird imagining if you think of Kong, someone who's seen the Peter Jackson Kong is going to have a vastly different idea than someone who's seen the original King Kong.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just so funny to think that, I don't know, maybe Tom Hiddleston is thinking that there's a Godzilla size the entire time. And then John C. Reilly's here just 20-foot Kong.
Funny you mentioned Tom Hiddleston because there was a time in the movie when I think he's supposed to be looking at a skull crawler and his eye line was not going to that skull crawler. So it makes sense now.
Have you heard of Honest Trailers?
Yes.
So YouTube channel, YouTube series that covers trailers and just kind of mocks them, makes fun of them. Mm-hmm. The director, Jordan Vogt. How do you say? You said Voight.
Yeah, I was probably real wrong.
Vogt,
sorry, Jordan.
Voight Roberts. He co-wrote and appeared in the Honest trailers of this movie.
Whoa, really? So he makes the movie and then co-writes the joke YouTube video that's making fun of it?
And he highlights some actual legitimate flaws in the film in it as well.
Whoa.
He says in it that there are massive structural problems for the movie. He himself states that there's a lack of character arcs for the human cast and that there were in fact too many human characters.
Really?
But he also appeared on CinemaSins.
I hate CinemaSins.
Well. You do?
I hate it. I mean, it's just the bottom level. Why would you just dunk on movies that much? You know, people have put their heart and soul into making movies. You're just being so negative about bits and pieces, but they're really popular.
When CinemaSins came out, he full on attacked CinemaSins.
I'm on his side.
Dunking on it.
Thank you, Jordan.
He was on Twitter typing up those comments.
Yeah,
fully standing by the movie.
Nice. I'd be alongside you, Jordan. Down with CinemaSins.
Down with CinemaSins. Up with John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
And last little fun piece of trivia here. I feel like there's been so many points of history, especially in our Toho journey, where we've seen suits burn down in fires.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not really a suit, but at the premiere of this movie in Vietnam, they erected a 16-foot tall display model of Kong. And he was surrounded by, all of these giant skeletons of various monsters and some volcanoes.
Skeletons?
Some skeletons.
Yeah.
Some skeletons. There were volcanoes surrounding the statue, and because of that, this whole 16-foot Kong model ended up like burning down and being fully set on fire
At the premiere. Because of volcanoes they set up
because
next to
of volcanoes. It was extinguished in 15 minutes.
Whoa.
No less.
By John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly came out in his tux.
Him and John Goodman. Just they were on that fire.
The firefighters came out, but then they took over. John C. Reilly chucked the fire hose to Tom Hiddleston, who put on a gas mask.
Yeah.
And set out the fire.
I just have a little bit of trivia too.
Yeah.
It's just something we didn't mention, but Toby Kebbell, one of my favorite
Jimmy
underrated. Kibble? No, Toby Kebbell. Kebbell. Toby Kebbell. Underrated actor. He's been in a lot of movies that have been like box office bombs. Like he was Doctor Doom in Fantastic.
People call it that, right? Fantastic.
But
wait, this is the dude who fully looks like a Jonas brother.
He does not look like a Jonas brother. He's a handsome looking guy. He's not a Jonas brother. But he plays a dual role in this almost. He is one of the pilots that gets hit far away from the rest of the group when Kong attacks their helicopters. I don't know how he got hit so far away, but he's there and he gets killed. I quite liked his little arc he has of really caring about his son, writing little notes to his son, wanting to get home to his family. But he's also the facial reference for Kong. So he recorded like all Kong's face throughout the movie. And then there was another actor, Terry Notary, who was the motion capture for Kong. And Terry Notary has played apes in Planet of the Apes. He was also Gordy in Nope.
Oh, he's Gordy.
He's Gordy.
We love Gordy.
So, yeah, pretty cool. It was Kong's performance in this. Toby and Terry, you did well.
Kong acting beside himself.
Yeah, Toby and Kong. I also like how they got Toby to play a soldier on the island as well as the like facial reference for Kong, because the same thing Peter Jackson got with Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis was a random person on the island and he was Kong.
Yeah.
Cool little connections.
Some cool parallels here.
Anyway, should we bring it on home? Micah,
Yes.
do you have any final thoughts before you give us your rating on Kong Skull Island?
Yeah. I don't dislike this movie. I just, for some reason, I don't feel as good about it as I have a lot of the other movies we've seen in the past. Especially for Kong, which I think has a huge history. I like the fact that they decided to do something new with this. I do like that. And what they did was really cool. Like, this movie has some fantastic sets, some fantastic VFX shots, some just really cool ideas for scenes and shots. And especially, I mean, this is the most action we've seen from King Kong. His whole fight with the chains and the little propeller flail that he has. They do some really cool stuff with that. But as well as that, I don't think he's as characterized as much as we have seen him, and I feel like that's one of the stable things you should have from a King Kong movie. I did still like it regardless, though. It is a nice little, I'd say it's a popcorn flick. I didn't have popcorn. I had some shortbread while watching this.
You're eating shortbread.
I had a shortbread.
Wow.
I had some coffee, and I had a fun time doing it. Seeing all these actors play off each other, even though the dialogue feels a little shallow, maybe a bit quippy at times.
Yeah,
it is just still a lot of fun. I'm going to give it Jasha. Imagine I'm holding 2 hot dogs in one hand.
Okay.
Not sausage sizzles. 2 hot dogs.
Unfortunately, 2 hot dogs.
In the other hand, I've got 2 beers, but one of them is like half drunken.
Wait, so this is 2 plus 2.5?
No, 2 plus 1.
Wait, 2
hot dogs, 1.5 beers.
3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
3.5 out of 5 hot dogs and beers. Yeah. Well, that took me a bit. No, that's fair. There were some like things glaringly wrong with it. I didn't like Kong's portrayal. I think he's cool, right? You love watching Kong do his stuff, but I wish there was a bit more emotional connection there, which I think is something we do get later on in the Monsterverse. Again, Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson didn't really do it for me. They were very underwritten, but I kind of don't mind it with just such a large ensemble. Something that really irks me, so this is something I just hated, and it's no fault on the film, it's kind of because of what's come afterwards, but Monarch's inclusion in this. We start off...
Yeah, we haven't really talked about Monarch's role in this whole thing.
Monarch's role in this movie. Our 2 like Monarch guys are John Goodman's Randa, and then Corey Hawkins playing Brooks.
And
oh yeah, there's the girl that's with
there's
them.
the biologist.
They
who
just
does not do anything.
They don't even introduce her. Yeah, why? That's so strange. Maybe she was in that 1/3 of the movie that was cut. But the movie starts and they're trying to get out onto Skull Island, and Corey Hawkins' character Brooks, you see one of the first things you see is his big briefcase he pulls out with just this annoyingly large Monarch logo. Like, why would they even brand their briefcases?
Forget Gucci. More all about that Monarch branding.
But the thing I hate even more than that is Randa, John Goodman's character, is the whole movie, it feels like he hasn't encountered a monster before. He's talking throughout the movie like everyone just thinks I'm a crackpot believing in these monsters, but now they'll believe me because I've seen Kong. Yeah. He's also got, I think he mentions a memory of his where he did catch a glimpse of a monster once, but no one believed him.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because since then, even with like, we've read one of the Monsterverse tie-in comics, like Monarch's seeing a whole lot of different monsters in that, especially the Monarch TV show that has come out recently. There's a younger version of John Goodman's Randa character, and he's seeing a whole lot of monsters in that. They've built Monarch up to be this huge company, this huge group of scientists who have always been meeting monsters and investigating monsters throughout their whole lifespan. And in this movie, it feels like Monarch's just a bunch of guys who have theories about monsters, but they haven't encountered any yet.
Because Monarch is set up to be in this movie, correct me if I'm wrong, an organization that solely exists to find big monsters.
Yeah.
But Kong is their first monster.
That's what it feels like, right?
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, so they've kind of like retconned and rewritten it all, which is a big gripe for me. But again, when Skull Island came out, this was it. This is what Monarch was, which I forgive it for. But just going through the rest of my notes, Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, the tease at the end, pretty cool.
Cool teaser.
Super hype after credits then. John C. Reilly line when he's like, what happened with the war? Did we win? And someone just answers, which one? He's like, oh, that makes sense. America's gone through many wars. I loved when in the final fight, Kong grabs a big tree and he runs his hand along it and like pulls off all the branches, uses that as a weapon. Reminds me of, do you know, there's like plants, those ferns that you can grab and run your hand along and like all the leaves of the fern comes off and it's just the most satisfying thing in the world. The last thing is it was just a creative choice, but the movie starts with us zooming deep inside John C. Reilly's eye and seeing the Kong Skull Island title. Yep. And it ends with us zooming deep inside Kong's eye and then the credits starting. Which was a cool choice. All in all, I just really loved this movie. I had such a fun time with it. Even though there were a few bits wrong with it, I was just having the time of my life, being entertained the whole way through. I think it's so creative the way they tackled it and the new ideas they injected into it. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to have, well, hold up.
Yeah. Give it to me straight, Jasha.
I'm having one hot dog. Just one hot dog. Okay. That's all you need. Because there's a lot of bun when you're eating hot dogs, right? So that's going to fill me up. And then I'm going to have 3.5 beers.
Whoa. In one hand?
And yeah, just holding them all. I'm going to be wearing a bucket, one of those hats. I'm going to pour beers into it. I'm going to be sipping along. 4.5 out of 5. I just love this movie. I got to say, Kong standalone movies really do it for me. There hasn't been a bad like Kong origin movie, you know, like the original 30s one, the one in the 70s, Peter Jackson's one, and this.
Yeah, they've all been really solid.
They've been really solid. So yeah, I love this movie. Love this movie. Do you like Godzilla 2014 better than this, do you think?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I think this is way better.
What I do want, what would make this movie stand out so much for me in the future is if, so help me, Legendary finally decided to make a movie and bring back some established characters.
Get ready.
Are they doing that?
My guy, Corey Hawkins' character from Monarch in this.
Who's Corey Hawkins?
Corey Hawkins is the dude in Monarch with the briefcase. It's him and John Goodman.
Oh, yeah. He shows up.
Another actor playing an older version of him shows up.
Oh, get out of here.
So get ready.
Okay.
But let's read some of your reviews. We got letters from you guys, some emails, some letterbox reviews tagged Podzilla. Let's hear what you guys thought. And Micah, we've got an email here, a first-time email from someone named Jackson.
Jackson. Thank you for listening, Jackson. Thank you for sending in.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Jackson. The email goes, "Hi, Jasha and Micah. My name is Jackson. I'm 11 years old, also from New Zealand, and I love listening to your podcast. My mum has let me use her email address so I can send you guys a message. I'd like to tell you about a game called Kaiju Universe on Roblox.
I've heard about this.
If you haven't heard about it already, Micah has. I have heard about it, Jackson. We really need to give it a go sometime." And Jackson says, "It's an online game with players all around the world. You get to play as different kaiju, Gabara, Manila, Godzilla, and so much more. It's a pretty neat game, and I thought you might like to know about it." From Jackson.
Jackson, I'm so thankful that you know who Gabara is.
Yeah.
You've grown up on the good movies.
You've mentioned the only Godzilla monsters you need to mention: Gabara, Manila, Godzilla. Get out of here, Toho's like big five. These are the big three.
These are the big three.
The big three above the big five. But yeah, we appreciate listening to the show, Jackson. Living here in New Zealand too, and we gotta play Kaiju Universe sometime, because I've seen some clips of this game on Roblox, and every single kaiju from every single Godzilla or Godzilla adjacent movie is in this game.
Is this the one where you can play as Serizawa, or is that a different game?
No, that's way different. Have you not? Maybe you haven't seen.
No, I have seen this one. This is, yeah, I know what this is.
You like spawning on.
This is where
islands.
there's like 20 variations for every kaiju.
Yeah, we need to play it. We need to figure out if we're going to do like a live stream or a video about us playing it, or some sort of Discord event. It'll be very fun.
This is how we get into Roblox.
This is how we get into Roblox.
We also have a message here from David. "This movie is the best Monsterverse has yet done, having a quality and depth above all the other movies. So many great actors giving it their all. We need more movies like this one."
Agreed.
We also have another one from Joe Jazzy. "John C. Reilly went hard in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Had a phenomenal time with this. Even when the writing got a little iffy, the action sequences more than made up for it. CGI holds up really, really well, and might be my favorite end credits in a film of all time. Had a blast watching with the lovely Podzilla crew."
Nice. I think you gave it 4 out of 5. 2 hot dogs, 2 beers, probably. Let us know, Joe. Let us know how many of each you'd have.
3.5 hot dogs, half a beer.
Okay. And then the last review we have here is from Morshu. Morshu says, "Cole is hands down the best character in all the Monsterverse to date." This is Shea Wiggum,
Yep.
the legend. "And I'll die on that hill. That man was not fazed by a single thing the entire time on Skull Island, and that's why I give this movie such a high rating, 4.5 out of 5.
Purely for Shea.
Man, I can't believe Shea Wiggum going to sacrifice his life to buy them some time, setting the grenades off on him, and he just gets whacked into a wall and doesn't do a single thing to help.
Being whacked by the skull crawler's tail is the funniest joke.
It's
so good.
It's like slow motion, him sacrificing himself away, ready for this.
The music is swelling up. Yeah,
it's going to be this huge emotional moment. Nope. But yeah, thanks for sending in your thoughts, guys. As always, you can email us, podzillapod@gmail.com, or create a Letterboxd account and chuck Podzilla as one of your tags, and we'll find you that way. But Micah, next episode is going to be huge.
Huge? Large even?
It's going to be large. We've actually got a guest for it too. We're going to be covering Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, the first movie of Toho's anime Godzilla trilogy, available on Netflix. And joining us to talk about Godzilla Planet of the Monsters is Slim from 70mm and the Letterboxd show. Slim has been such a he's the podcast godfather. He's been such an inspiration for us at Podzilla, what they do at 70mm in their community, the 70mm community, the VHS Village.
Yep.
That's actually where we've met a whole lot of our friends, previous guests of the show. So we were really excited to finally have Slim on. He actually, put his hand up. He chose.
He requested to be on for this movie in particular.
He was like, hey, I want to talk about Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, which is intriguing because we've been talking about this in the Discord. We've seen a lot of negativity.
I think we've both voiced how excited we are to eventually get to this, and we've just been shut down every time.
Everyone's like, these are the worst movies. These are the worst Godzilla movies of all time.
With Slim there, I think the three of us are going to at least have a fun time talking about it.
Yeah, I'm very interested in what we'll think. But yes, Slim will be on. Don't miss that. And the synopsis for Planet of the Monsters goes, who will survive, humankind or Godzilla? A desperate group of refugees attempts to recolonize Earth 20,000 years after Godzilla took over. But one young man wants revenge above all else.
It is a young Samuel L. Jackson.
This sounds crazy. A futuristic anime where we've got human characters returning to Earth that Godzilla has just ravaged.
Yeah, I know in the Shin Godzilla episode we did recently, we said that movie, I think, is probably the most unique idea for a movie, and how. But with the anime medium, this one just took the ball and went running.
Yeah. I seriously can't wait for this, whether we love it or we hate it. I think it's going to be a fun conversation with Slim there. So make sure you watch it. Make sure you let us know what your thoughts were. And on top of that, if you're not a supporter of us on Patreon, we just released another little bonus episode. We're covering some of the Monsterverse tie-in graphic novels, and sometime in February we're going to be releasing an episode on the Kong Skull Island tie-in novel, which is called The Birth of Kong. So if you want a little bit more Skull Island media conversation, we're going to be traveling back there on the Patreon. So patreon.com/Podzilla, $5 a month, less if you live outside of New Zealand. Would really appreciate the support.
I think the graphic novel covers Kong's parents and their whole history with the skull crawlers. Is that right?
Yeah, and I was also reading that it's not just a prequel, but it's also a sequel to this movie. So it also chronicles a secret return mission to the island that Monarch undertakes. So either way, it's going to be really interesting. So yeah, if you're interested in talking about the wacky Monsterverse comic books, join us for the journey.
I have full faith that it will not contradict any of the movies going forward.
The Monsterverse, eh? The Monsterverse just being like the pinnacle of interconnected movies at the moment, one of the big like movie universes, and then just having so many retcons, so many characters they just forget about, so many plot threads that are just dropped. Insane. Anyway, we better get back out there into the jungle and look for this lost pilot so that we can make sure we get this promotion.
Yeah, there's a river in front of us, but Jasha, I bought a float recently.
You bought a float? We're going to go out on your float back on Monster Island.
It's going to be a breeze.
Float. What a word. Float. We're going to bring that back. Why aren't floats a real thing?
Why would they be?
Why not?
The newest craze, taking plain fuselages. I feel like the tiny home community, that's right up their alley.
You know how like it's a weird thing, but a lot of restaurants and fast food chains here have like a cool branded car that's outside of their store. Like our Burger Fuel has like this retro purple colored like hot rod.
Yeah.
There's like an ice cream, a real cool gelato place in town, Bocky Boo here in Whangarei, and they have their little like Bocky Boo cart. I think they had a bike for a bit.
Yeah.
Branded bike. We're going to make the Podzilla branded float. The Podzilla float.
The Podzilla float.
And we go on tour, bring the float around. Just wait till the Podzilla float rocks up to your town for the Podzilla live show. That's an idea. I'm writing that down.
Live show on the seas.
I'm writing that down. Thanks for listening to Podzilla. Join our Discord server, tag us on Letterboxd, and follow us on socials at PodzillaPod. Links are all in our show notes. You can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Podzilla and get access to extended cuts of every episode and the occasional bonus ep. Huge thank you to Cassie Celine for our seasonal podcast art, and just a disclaimer that all music and additional audio used in this episode belong entirely to the Toho Company. Marlowe, who has been stranded on Skull Island since World War II, reveals Kong's role in maintaining balance against skull crawlers, fierce reptilian predators. Why are you smiling?
You said skull crawlers.
No, I did not. I did it. Let the record show. Let me repeat that just in case.
All you
I
listeners, rewind.